Left, your left, hey. Left, right, your left. You got it.
Veteran, first responder, or a patriot looking for a place to put your skill set, your thoughts, and/or want to help continue the mission? You have come to the right place. We are the People's Patriot Project, and we want to put the shock and awe when it comes to meeting the needs of our veterans and first responders. We are dealing with a new enemy in today's world where the wounds are not always seen. We want you to be part of this mission in saving lives and making a difference. Welcome to Playtime. We got your 6 at 6. Now here's your host, Shad Turner of Veterans Unite Podcast and the People's Patriot Project. And as always, Patriot Pride.
Hey everybody. There we go. Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of We Got Your 6 at 6. I'm Shad Turner with the Veterans Unite Podcast. We've got Mark Peterson and Andrea Eichmann from the People's Patriot Project. And today's special guest is Mr. Ed Henry. He's a national firearms trainer. He's worked as a law enforcement instructor. And he's got a story. And we're going to get to that in just a moment. But it is the beginning of the show, and that means we have to do the Pledge of Allegiance. So if you can stand, please stand. If you're wearing a hat, please take it off and get ready to say it. I pledge allegiance
to
the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. Oh, hell, we even have Ed's camera up and running.
Yay!
Welcome, everyone. What's going on?
It's my phone. I'm just holding it.
Now, okay.
We'll make it work. A little technical difficulty before the start of the show. I'm going without headphones. I don't know why they're not working, whatever. Andrea had a hair malfunction and
That's not technical. You guys can settle down a little bit. It's all good.
We're going to have to start recording our pre-show stuff so we can patron that because it's worth every dime. Watching that poop show get ready to go.
I'm just going to tell you, I saved you from this. I had that little gender reveal party last night. And in the later hours of the get-together, when the old people leave, and I was still there, these keg stands were happening. And my daughters-in-law thought it would be really cool to chant, Grandma, Grandma, as I did a keg stand. I don't play that way. I would pass out just from the headstand, never mind the drinking that you're supposed to do with it.
So how long did you last on your keg stand?
Negative 2 hours. No, I didn't. Honestly, Carly. Carly was like, Mama, this stuff
this will go viral. Put it on the People's Patriot Project. It'll be the best.
Exactly what we want. That's exactly what we want.
I'm like, dude, I'm a teacher
So,
too.
yeah. Here's a question. So you had a gender reveal party, right? So what are you? I'm kidding.
I came out a girl. I mean, it came out kind of cool. Yeah.
As you said that, it just popped into my head. So what are you?
I am a girl.
I had to say it.
It's good. No, I am a girl, and the grandbaby looks like a girl too. So
Awesome.
that was our tiebreaker. 2 boys, 2 girls, and now a girl.
There you go.
I think these gender reveal parties are ridiculous. I really wish they'd give the child a chance to decide for themselves. Okay?
You know, Peterson,
okay.
I will kick you square in the nose for that comment. Thank you.
It's outlaw them all.
Can I just tell you a secret too? And anyone can do what they want to do, but this word assigned, the baby was assigned a female at birth. I'm like, who? By God, yeah. I think God is in my world. In my world, God assigns that, and my God does not really make mistakes on that part. So there's all kinds of things afterwards. I get that, and I'm not going to do any
conversation. We're shutting her down.
Don't shut me down. Don't. That was my platform for 1 10-second preview. 1 10 second. I just don't like the word assigned. Language arts teachers have issues.
Fair enough. So Shad was talking about this earlier. In the fact that he saw a funny movie last night, and that funny movie was a Christmas-themed movie. For all of our listeners, this will be our question of the evening. What is your favorite Christmas-themed or holiday? Let's keep it holiday-themed movie.
I can share mine.
Andrea threw it out there right away. 4 Christmases. I don't even know what that is.
Oh, you gotta watch it. Ed, what's yours?
Well, of course, Die Hard.
Yes.
Yeah. That was on Adam Bird's little show yesterday today's Sunday, Friday. He does a brief for Heroes Media Group, and I threw Die Hard on there as well. Do you really qualify Die Hard as a holiday movie?
Yep.
It's kind of a cult classic at this point.
Yeah, it's kind of by default.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, all right. Yeah, I do know. Yep. We do have a Wonderful Life, great movie. It's one of our illustrious Facebook users. If you can give us a hint, we'll give you a shout out.
I think it might be Tammy.
I knew this one was coming along the way too. I knew for sure that was going to come along, especially from that person who's sitting upstairs. National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. Die Hard, great one. Oh, you already said that. Speaking of Die Hard, we've got Brian Gibson here with Project Die Hard out of Illinois and Kentucky. Real quick, we'll just throw him a little. He's got on the 16th, Rush to Action Give-a-thon on December 16th. That's next Thursday, from 6 to 8. He's got a whole line of people coming on to share the mission of Project Die Hard and what they're doing. And I'm supposed to be on there, and I've already talked to Brian today, but me and Andrea are out heading off to another event that weekend, and we'll actually be in the air at that time. And so we're trying to work around to get the schematics figured out. And
I'll have to say sorry. Sorry, Brian. I was not aware. Didn't show up on Peterson's calendar yet, so I might have booked it.
That wouldn't make a difference anyway. We had to take the flight. But it's all good.
Our flights are dollars on this one.
That was a good segue the way that worked out. But do you think Step Brothers counts as a Christmas movie?
No.
No? How about Yellowstone? Yellowstone, the whole series.
Not a movie. It's not a movie.
We're going to count Yellowstone as a Christmas movie.
I don't know.
And I will be watching the entire series as it's laid out right now. Yes. We're trying to get John Dutton to come onto the show and give us a little bit of a kick. I'm totally joking.
Steven Peterson, I'm going to have to argue. You little shyster.
Thanks. I got some crew in the world that got my back.
The kid peeps up from.
Yes. Awesome. Andrea, what do we got going on?
Oh, hey, Peterson, I thought you would never ask. I need a minute. Can I get a minute?
Okay, so we're stalling for a minute. I love it.
Can you, if you could,
Perfect.
just for, sorry.
So what we got going on? Well, so like you were saying, we've been invited down to Nashville to watch a Chris Turner event down there. We're really excited about that. We reached out. Here is some happy good news. We're just going to go. One of my favorite songs that we've heard from this last week. We had an amazing Giving Tuesday event with amazing. Our brothers and sisters they came out of the woodwork. And Ed, if you haven't seen this, get a chance to go watch. All these artists on this screen right now are all veterans and first responders. Actually, all of these are veterans. And they all showed up on Tuesday to show us how much they care about our project and what we're doing. We had Elliot McKinsey, Tony Turner, Jen Ford, Johnny Cole Murdoch couldn't make it. He had to step into something else. Chris Moreau was there. Chris Turner, Kim Donnette, missed her for just, again, not throwing them under the bus. They got busy and got tied up in what they do. Scotty Hastine, and I did misspell that. I'm sorry, Scotty. There's no S. The reason why I do that is Andrea's hometown is Hastings, and I did throw an S on there all the time. Then Sal Gonzalez. So congratulations, Sal. I hope this isn't premature in sharing with the world, but Sal had his little baby, and I didn't get all the details yet, but last week he was talking about having while he was on the show, that was going to happen any minute, and it has happened. So we want to make sure, congratulations. Love it. It's awesome. So let's just shoot into his song real quick, and then we'll get back to you, and you get more than that. So one of his favorite songs, or one of my favorite songs that he does, is a song called Hero. And it goes back to talk about a little bit about how Sal lost his leg in an explosion at, and I won't remember the exact place or time, but I think it was up to 10 people in his crew died at that scene and fight. And so he's dealt with that survivor's remorse. I actually saw another video of this that he dedicated to his lieutenant, and I really would like to, but I'd like to show that one, but this is his version. And it talks about how, well, you'll hear the song. I won't do it any justice. This is Sal Gonzalez, our new awesome, amazing friend and hero.
They threw him a party the day that he got home. Oh, and they called him a hero, but he felt all alone, surrounded by his family and all his friends but one. Oh, he lost him in that country to a buried roadside bomb. When his dad stood up and said, our hero has returned, he looked down at his scars and his purple heart and said, Dad, you know that hurt. Cause that told me to not sound grateful, cause the good Lord knows I am, for sparing me my life on the day he took my friend. But I still wish that I had gone with him, or maybe even took his place. Oh, but destiny didn't lead me that way. So I'm not trying to say you're wrong, but heroes ain't the ones who make it home. said Danny had a daughter he'll never get to see. And I know that he was proud, but he was only 23. They gave me this medal, pinned it on my uniform. But this piece of tin don't mean a thing, no, if it can't bring them home. So I told me to not sound grateful, 'cause the good Lord knows I am, for sparing me my life on the day he took my friend. But I still wish that I had gone with him, maybe he even took his place. Oh, but destiny didn't lead me that way. I'm not trying to say you're wrong, but heroes ain't the ones who make it home. Don't need to not sound grateful, 'cause the good Lord knows I am, for sparing me my life on the day he took my friends. But I still wish that I'd gone with them. Every day I'd take their place. Oh, my destiny didn't lead me that way. I'm not trying to say you're wrong. Yes, I am. 'Cause heroes ain't the ones who make it home. No, heroes ain't the ones who make it home.
Yeah.
Sal is very, he's a very humble man, a very gracious and humble person. And his music is just, it's right there.
A blessing. I mean, that literally upstages all of us for the rest of the show, but we'll get through it. And gosh, it's so my team. What's the news, Andrea?
All right, we'll come back to your thought in a minute. You get your thought up here. So, you guys, you know what? Here's the deal. I just want to remind you, we are here for our first responders and our veterans. We like to support in times of need, but not necessarily at that last moment when you need it. If you know someone or if you feel something coming on that you are concerned will set you back physically, emotionally, mentally, family, materialistically, whatever it is, please give us a holler. We had the most awesome requests this week, and it was too simple. It was too simple, and I mean, I already was going to move on it, and I called Peterson just to make sure, that just so it doesn't surprise anybody. And well, both Scotty and Mark got a note, and Peterson's like, yeah, this is too easy, and make it happen. And so a call came from a caseworker at the VA, and all we needed is a little financial help to get a veteran home. Not home. He's from Minnesota here, and he just needs to get to Texas to be with his daughter to finish out his life. And he's not very old. He just needed a flight. Too easy. And the caseworker was like, I already looked, $119 to fly from here to here. And I'm like, do you have a minute? Which he didn't, but we made it work out. And I'm in there. I'm like, here's what I'm going to do, because I can't. There's some, medical things. And I'm like, dude, we're putting him on first class. And there was a little choke up on the other side of the phone. Then I start, having to put myself back together. And I mean, we're not going to stick you in the back end of a plane when there's some physical comfort that can be given right up there in the front seat. And so I wish I could meet this person before they go and just shake their hand and thank them. And this is my thanks. And so, yeah, that was too easy, much too easy. And just a couple pennies out of our pocket is what we do. This is the kind of stuff that's super easy. That's minimal on our end for what was given in this person's life. And so God bless them and keep them safe on their way. And please give us shout out if that's the stuff that helps. Little tiny asks. And so, so this week is, well, honestly, we just finished up November National Military Month. Family Appreciation. Oh, wow. I can say that now. November, we rounded up Military Family Appreciation Month. And so we're rolling into December. And I got to tell you a big one right at the beginning of the month here. Pearl Harbor Remembrance Day. And I swear, easy again because I like sand, ocean, beaches, that part. But I do want to get to the Pearl Harbor Memorial myself. But Pearl Harbor survivors, veterans, and visitors, family, supporters from all over the world come together to do the remembrance on December 7th for those service members and civilians who were killed during the Japanese attack on Pearl Harbor on December 7th, 1941. 2,403 service members and civilians that day, and another 1,178 people were injured in the attack. It permanently sank two U.S. Navy battleships, the USS Arizona and the USS Utah, and it destroyed 188 aircraft. So on August 23rd in 1994, the U.S. Congress designated December 7th as National Pearl Harbor Remembrance Day. I did read quite a bit in the past about there are some really good stories, personal stories that people have written just about how the timing of things is super important. And I have students who have been there and bring me the most amazing pictures. And so that's on my bucket list to get down there and to see that. December 7th would be a perfect day for me to go as well, but I'll go any day of the year. Just to see that spectacular memorial. But yes, that's what we've got. So December 7th, set a moment aside for those injured and killed during that attack.
Awesome. Well, not awesome, but we drive hard on the fact that to remember is not enough. And that, oh my gosh, Shad, what do you got going on there? To remember is not enough. We've got a lot of, and this would be great bringing Mr. Henry in here in a moment. Not that that's the platform he's on today, but just we have service members and first responders that leave home every single day, and they don't necessarily get to come back exactly as they left. There's pieces that they leave out there while they are serving. It is running into burning buildings when people are running out. It's holding the hands of those taking their last breath. It's calming a child when mom and dad are hurt, injured, or maimed or dead. It's all these little pieces are pieces that don't necessarily, it's not that they're gone forever, but it just takes a little bit of a recalibration, whether that is, a team member, whether that is a loved one, whether that is the People's Patriot Project coming in and helping you. And it's not that it's always fixed. You can super glue something that's broken, and that's kind of what ends up happening. We put our little magic super glue on it, and it'll just never be the same. The scar is always there. my struggle this week is I lost a close one. And the broken parts were always evident. And I don't take ownership of it, but at the same time, I don't know that I did enough. And so I'm segueing that into Andrea's conversation about if you're sitting on the outside and you see something that isn't necessarily right, and you see a brother or a sister struggling, reach out.
Amen.
If you can't do it, reach out to us, because we can walk in a way that shows support and lifts up and gives them a little bit of a, oh, really? You care? Well, I don't even know you and I'm here, right, bud? So please take that step. I'm going to tell you right now, I'm guilty for not taking some steps I should have taken. And I get to take that to my grave, so to speak. But I've been blessed. I've been blessed in a billion ways. And I get to carry this weight knowing that I can handle it. And I can't take ownership of everything. And this is a little bit, a little darker than we normally get. But that song didn't help. So, and it's important there's no way that we can learn and grow and move forward if we don't take these steps. And if we don't take some ownership, and we're in charge, we're large and in charge, and we get to do, we just get, take care of your brothers and sisters. In fact, I think we've missed this a couple times for the last couple of shows. We always do a buddy check during our show. Please, 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 please. There is someone in your life right now that has served. There's someone in your life right now that is a first responder. We're not asking you to do gigantic steps, or just reach out. Just reach out, say, thank you for your service. Thank you for helping. Thank you for being in our community. Thank you. I'm excited to talk to Mr. Henry because we didn't get to do a pre-show with him. And I want to hear his opinions. I'm going to put him on the spot a little bit about where he not necessarily stands in some areas, but how has the culture changed in the last 20 years? And I think he's got some probably good insight on that. And there's a lot of first responders out there, and we don't necessarily focus on veterans and service personnel, but we don't get that many first responders on here for whatever reason. And the ones that have come on have been impactful and amazing, and we love having them in our network. Mr. Henry, go ahead and introduce yourself and share with us who you're with and why the heck are you on our show, man?
Well, I spent 25 years in law enforcement. 20 of those years I spent in San Diego. Then probably partly because of PTSD and everything else, I volunteered to go to a place called Afghanistan with the State Department. I was running away from things, and a war zone sounded like a great place to go when you're running away from things. So I went to Afghanistan, trained Afghan National Police, part of a PRT team. I was embedded with the U.S. Army for a while, and I also worked at a training center. Eye-opening, going to other countries like that, working with the awesome men and women of the armed forces. It was a privilege. But way back in my career, like you said, over 20 years, then I spent the last 5 years in Utah, and then health conditions caught up to me. Stress finally caught up to me and took my eyesight from my left eye and kind of ended my law enforcement career at that point. Doctors don't know why. I'm 50 some odd years old, and my retina detached. Don't know why that happened. They said probably stress, but they have no idea why. I miss every day. It's a struggle for me every day. I wish I was out on the street chasing bad guys. and protecting our community. So that's my everyday struggle. And then that song made me think of something, that survivor guilt's a real thing. I said I worked with it was a National Guard unit out of Georgia, and we were up in the city of Conduce, and I went away on vacation. I did my leave and went home for my daughter's birthday. I came back to a memorial service for the guys that ran security for us. They were out on a convoy, and the Humvee got blown up while I was gone. And I'm like, man, where would I been riding that Humvee? Which one was it? All those things ran through my mind and continue to run through my mind. Could I change the mission that day and they wouldn't have been there? All those survivor guilt things. But what a way to come back after, it takes 3 days to get there. Come back and you get on the fob and they're doing a memorial service. So I have a unique connection with the military people because I was lucky enough to spend time over there and work with them. And then my 25 years in law enforcement, I've been involved in critical incidents where suspects have died. I've had officers die that I worked with. I have officers take their own lives. They were friends of mine. So all the stuff you talked about before, every officer goes through it. And that's one thing I learned is when I worked over there, a lot of people don't know at the height of the Afghan war, there was 500 police officers over there in country training Afghan National Police. Why? Because it's something called the Geneva Convention. We had to be over there because the military can't directly train law enforcement. So they have to hire us as subject matter experts, and we were over there. I think it was close to 75 officers lost their lives during the missions over there. I could be wrong, but that was the number that kind of stuck out, and then lost a couple more over the years. But the big thing I learned is all the police officers, I worked with police officers all over the United States over there, and they all have the same stories. And like you're saying, they all have the same heartaches. And that, watching people die, they have to see all the stuff that we don't want to see every day. So I look back about 5 years ago and how I was at a new department. I was the old guy there, but I was training a bunch of young guys. And I look back and I said, what would I like to know when I was a young guy that I could share with them? So I started sharing stuff with them, and I reached out, and a lot of it had to do with mental health. The whole mental health thing came out. I was lucky our department had a mental health program that was separate from the city, so it was readily used because we didn't think we were going to get in trouble. But there still was a stigma. But it went from really bad stigma to being more acceptable as I got out after 20 years. So first, they always call it, why is that guy working the desk? Oh, he's on the rebel gun squad. That's a stigma of the rebel gun squad and going through divorce or something like that, going through a critical incident and not dealing with it well. So I've seen all those things. And one group I started a first responder ministry because I wanted to go out and kind of counsel people without having to spend another 25 years in psychology. I think I like to say I have a psychiatry degree from the streets. I've worked with people. I've talked to people. I've done that. So the easiest way I can counsel people was to become a chaplain. I'm a semi-religious guy. I believe in God, and I believe Jesus was sent to save us, and he's going to save all of us. But that wasn't my forte, but I wanted to go out and reach first responders and help them. I became a chaplain for the police departments I volunteered for. And the program I found out that was really helpful, I don't know if you guys ever heard of it before, but they do it for first responders and they also do it for veterans. So it's an awesome program that kind of fits into what you guys are doing, but it's called Reboot Recovery. And it's a program that it's put on by first responders and by veterans. It's not put on by psychiatrists or counselors or anything else like that. It's homegrown. It's in your community, in your churches and stuff like that. And a lead facilitator puts it on. It's a 10-week program, and it touches a lot of the stuff you guys talked about. It talks about survival guilt. It talks about forgiving yourself, getting forgiveness, and all these other wonderful things. and it's not. Everyone says the stigma, the shrinky thing. It's not like a shrinky thing. It's an awesome program, and I was putting that on, and then COVID hit, and we did some online, and that I was lucky enough. I did a special class just for one gentleman. He was a doctor in India that was going through some PTSD, and I was able to put him through that program for 10 weeks, just him and I on Zoom. But I think it's something that maybe you guys could partner with, reach out to them. They've been a nonprofit for over 10 years, and I think it's a pretty good thing. But like I said, just reaching out to your buddy, checking on them, and the big thing with first responders, maybe other police officers would agree with me, is once you retire, you're kind of out of the club, and then you're kind of forgotten. I talked to less than a couple people from my old department, and that some people have a better retirement than I had. I left when I was dealing with some PTSD issues, and it wasn't identified as PTSD. It was just identified me as making bad choices, and I was melting down. So I left, and now all those things were all PTSD issues, and all related to that. And I think you're either in the club or out of the club kind of thing. And I'm not sure if it's out there with the military or not, but it's something that doing the buddy checks, and that is an important kind of thing. But that's kind of what I've been doing. The first time, so just how they dealt with it in the 90s. I went through a couple critical incidents. A couple suspects died, and some officer-involved shootings I was involved with. I wasn't the shooting officer. I was the guy was going to kill. Then my partners killed him, and I was working in the inner city of a city, and I hated everybody. Everybody was an asshole. Can I say asshole? I just did. 3 times.
You are fine.
And lieutenant realized that I was struggling, and instead of dealing with headphones, he was transferring to a slower division, and he said, "Ed, why don't you come with me to the slower division, and we'll take a break for a while." And that's how he saw something was wrong, but then just removing me from that. Bad things could happen anywhere. It could happen in a rural neighborhood. It's happened in rural neighborhoods. It happened in inner cities. It doesn't matter where it happened. Just removing me it slowed the process down, but didn't fix it. So, and I think I commend the lieutenant for seeing that, but and then going on, I went to the counseling from an outside vendor that we dealt with, which was great. It was one of the first departments that ever have an outside vendor, and all they did is report numbers. They never reported names. They said, "Okay, we treated 20 officers this month. Send us our bill." And that's a relationship that we had with this counseling service and with the city. And then it went to, I made friends with the head counselor. And when she would come in, when I was a supervisor, she'd come in and I would actually introduce her and befriend her, because she'd be walking around the station and no one wanted to talk to her. But I went out of my way to greet her, making sure it's okay. And this is starting and breaking down that stigma. A really good friend of mine in Salt Lake, she's a counselor, and she's been working for like 3 or 4 years to finally get Salt Lake City to hire her. And she's been hired, I think, this month to be their in-house clinician, just to deal with these issues. So I worked with her in Salt Lake, and she finally got hired there. And she helped me put on some of these reboot recovery classes and that. So I think there's grassroots efforts everywhere throughout the country, but these baby steps are still baby steps, but they weren't steps at all 20 years ago.
That's right. And sadly, it takes a long time, but it baby steps. You don't give up. You just keep going. I wanted to ask, where are you right now? Are you in Utah still?
No, I fled Utah. That's what I do when I get stressed out. I spent the summer teaching scuba lessons in Florida. I went to visit my daughter in North Carolina and realized that North Carolina is actually pretty cheap to live with my retirement. So I bought an old house, 1950s homestead house, and moved to North Carolina and fixing it up and trying to retire a third time. We'll see how that goes.
No, that's very cool. The reason I was asking is so you can do your classes online. You don't need to be in a certain place. Does it?
Actually, if you go to Reboot Recovery, there is for the military and for law enforcement, they do them all over the United States. They have local chapters or local instructors or facilitators all over the place. And if there's not one in your neighborhood, in your area, then you can jump on one of the online classes.
Is it rebootrecovery.com? Is that the?
That's the website.
Okay.
And it's a 10-week program, and it's religious based, but it's not preachy at all. It references some Bible stuff, but you won't be singing Kumbaya by the end of the day or anything like that. So a lot of first responder military people, I don't want to do that, because it's not like that at all. It's just kind of gives you some tools to learn how to deal with some of the issues, and kind of opens the door to the whole mental health issues and how to get help.
Right. No, it sounds amazing. It really does.
So this is so intriguing, and this is just, I don't know, we've been totally blessed, and we're not overtly spiritual in the things that we do either, but we allow it to happen when it happens. And this is really intriguing in the fact that we were going to talk to you about like you and your training and what you do and help train and where we're going, but I think this is more important. And it's weird how it caught you at this time and it caught us at this time, and the things all of us are dealing with at this moment to have these conversations. My heart is breaking for the culture, especially of our law enforcement officers right now. Somewhere someone forgot the messages that just because there's one bad apple in a group, that they're not all bad apples. And we've been preached about this for years, but now we're defunding police, and everyone's a bad one, and I'm just, it's so infuriating that's not the way it really is or should be. Are you seeing this? Because you're coming face to face with guys that are in the trenches daily, and gals. Are you seeing an effect of this culture taking effect on them?
I think the big thing is, I was a cop during Rodney King and the whole culture shifted is good police work. I'm going out there and making arrests and stuff like that, and being proactive is kind of split over the last 20 years to this reactive thing. They like to call it, we became firemen. We wait till you call us and then we show up, because officers don't want to go out there and be proactive because it generates complaints against them. It generates people complaining that they're being profiled, or numerous complaints. So officers, they're not. And then the officers that knew how to do that stuff. I worked with an officer, was a mentor of mine. He could stop somebody on the street and figure out what bad things they were doing and put them in jail and make our community safe. He was just one of those awesome officers that would be able to say, oh, that guy's got drugs, or that guy's got carrying a gun. Oh, that guy's wanted for bank robbery. You remember seeing his picture. He was that kind of guy. And those kind of guys were put away in glass cages and not let out anymore. And they're not training the next generation, not training the next generation, not training the next generation of officers. Those detectives that you see on TV that were based on real life people that were going out and making a difference and stuff like that, they're few and far between now, because nobody wants to risk their pension or risk their safety. And the big thing with their safety is 20 years ago, people wouldn't think about shooting at a cop. You'd shoot at a cop. That was unheard of. You wouldn't do that, because that was like a death sentence for you, and you didn't never cross that line. But how many shootings do we have at officers over the last 5-10 years. They just keep increasing and increasing and making their danger level higher and higher and higher. So the stigma of fighting cops, they're getting in more fights because people want to fight them. We were growing up, when I was trained, we respect the law enforcement and stuff like that, and the lines that you would never cross. But now these lines get crossed every day in everybody's community because of the culture, and it doesn't make it safe for our men and women out there on the street and that. So,
well, the truth of the matter is, it doesn't make it safe for anybody.
No,
it is actually making it dangerous for the people doing it, and then the people around doing it, and our officers. And then why on earth would you even want to go into that industry or that profession, knowing this stuff?
Yeah, and the sad part is, I think 90% of the officers, maybe 95% of the officers, would still do it because they feel it's a calling. They feel that they were put on this earth to serve and protect and to do these things. So probably 98%, they feel it's a calling, and it doesn't matter. The danger to yourself, the danger to your family, the mental danger to yourself, to your family, how destructive it is to families, how destructive it is to your own mental health, how dangerous you might not be able to come home. And a lot of officers still feel that they want to be out there, but they're hesitant and reserved to do the job that they're capable of doing.
That's the same conversation. Even the musician we got into that a little bit on the show on Tuesday, and he's like, I wouldn't change a thing that I've done, even though I lost my leg and I've lost my friends. He goes, I would have still done it, and I know that I've got full body, I got full everything. I wouldn't change my duty for anything. I probably wish I had stayed in longer, to be honest with you. But if I had changed any of that stuff, I would have.
And I think that it's the same thing as for first responders as is for the military people. Why do you do 3, 4 tours? People don't understand that you did one. And they ask me, would you go back? I'd go back. Where's my airline ticket? Where am I going?
Right.
And I think most of us feel that way, and you can't explain that to people that haven't done that. Why did they do 6 tours? Why did they do 8 tours? Why do they keep going? Why do they spend 25 years in law enforcement? It's just inherent that you want to go do that because you're making a difference.
Absolutely. Being part of something bigger than you are. There's no other way to do it, because you're not in it for the money.
Yeah, exactly. Not for money.
You're not making good money doing it. There's so many ways we could go with this conversation.
Mm-hmm.
Let's bring us back down a little bit. We kind of got ramped. Let's listen to Mr. Teague's song, because I think that brings us back to our ground a little bit. It's about life. It's about doing it, and it's about being part of your community. So we're going to get this loaded up here, and then we'll come back and continue. This is the Teague Brothers Band with Fingers and Thumbs.
Where is that old lighthouse? I fell in love with your brightness, and I used to see you, a beacon so bright and full of my dreams. And now the day is night and the nights are foggy. I hadn't found a damn thing in weeks. And work this hard and all my life, they say when you work hard futures are bright, but they lie. They hadn't tried. Here I am doing what's right, but I don't see shit, I just feel it. And brother, it's heavy. to say the least. But let's be honest, I need to be stronger, or I can't any longer. And I think it's time to say no for once. And I think it's time to do something for myself. But they think I own everything that I own. I guess I'll start selling my fingers and thumbs, but I can't. They're too damn steady to not maintain. And it's a damn shame, 'cause they'll tell you a story, but not one of glory. I'm not sorry about a damn thing. It was a good swing, 'cause they believed in me. I'm here. Oh, baby, I'm here. 2, 3, 4. They think I own everything that I own. I guess I'll start selling my fingers and thumbs, but I can't. They're too damn stained and not maintained. And it's a damn shame, 'cause they'll tell you a story, but not one of glory. I'm not sorry about a damn thing. It was a good swing, 'cause they believed in me. I'm here. Oh, baby, I'm here, I'm here, I'm here. Oh, darling, I'm here.
Yep. Be American. Be American.
Yeah, like
You can be whatever you want to be. You can be whatever you want to be, but I mean, this is keep it simple, and I guess that's the point I want to make. Yeah, you know, this is. I've been really into Aaron Lewis's song. Am I the Only One? Just recently, and some of the lyric that's in there, and it's like we fought for a purpose, and we fought for a reason to get where we're at, and let's not give it up. Just keep it simple. Keep it simple. Play some baseball. Listen to some music. Pat your brothers and sisters on the back, and take care of each other. God damn, it's too easy.
I think that the struggle is universal all over any branch of service, first responders, firemen. I've realized first responders, this trauma goes all the way into the hospitals, all the way to the nurses and the ER rooms and the ER doctors and the paramedics, and through the airwaves to the dispatchers and the call takers, all the way to the people collecting the evidence and the evidence clerks and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. They have to deal with the bloodstained clothes of the victims and stuff like that get traumatized. But one question she asked, I have material for a 2-hour seminar. I have material for a 4-day seminar. I'd love to come out to any first responders that would have me. Just throw an airline ticket in the mail. I'd come out and customize a mental awareness seminar for you. Find some local providers to come out and help us. And it could be for families. It could be for new officers, veteran officers. It's tailored for whatever you need for your department, and I was all geared up, ready to go with this, and then COVID shut us down. And hopefully, I can get geared back up and make this thing happen over the next year or so to go out. And I personally don't want to make any money on it, but I don't have the money to fly around the country and train everybody's police department.
Absolutely.
But I would love to be able to do that.
Have you connected with, been with, or heard of first responder conferences?
I was going to go to one of the conferences right before COVID came out, they invited me to attend as a free guest, and then COVID came, and they were going to kind of screen me to become a facilitator or lecturer, and then that kind of went away last year.
Oh, I'm pretty sure they'd be more than willing to. We can get you connected with Shay and
Sean.
Sorry, yep, Sean, and you are an asset, brother, and we have some people that are interested in meeting you in the post show, so when we get done and do our last song, if we do a last song, Shad may have talked me into doing a different song, Andrea.
Oh, okay.
Only because it's Christmas time and we do have a Christmas song in our thing. Maybe we can bring Luna Murda back and let them do their Christmas song.
You gotta play my favorite Christmas song, Mary Did You Know?
Oh, yeah.
Well, this will be Jen Did You Know? Will be this song, but no, it's not Jen Did You Know? But we do have a Jen Ford Christmas song booted up, and so we'll do that. Hey, Ed, what is your vision? What do you want to do next? Where do you want to go?
I'd like to help reboot, grow a little more. I like to be able to go out and have a seminar once a month in different cities and share that we're not out there alone, and plug in local support for first responders, tie into the military. The big thing for me, I just really realized I was trying to get a service dog for myself, and there's service dogs available for military, but even with the military, it's like a 2-year wait, for these service dogs, to help you with your night terrors and help you go out in public and all those things. And I think that's something that I don't know if is a big enough apple for me to chew, or if I want to jump in this whole ring again, because I took a break for about 6 months for my own personal issues. And I would love to go out and teach some more, share my story. You guys got like 1/10 of my story. That's all we have. So
that is, oh my.
Lot more to share, and a lot more growth in how my own mental health and my own spirituality all came into play to make me that I didn't take the dark path that some of your friends have said you just witnessed. We've been in dark things like that. What stopped me from doing those dark things and stuff?
Yeah.
So,
well, and I think we have some solutions to some of the things that you just brought up. So we'll talk about that post show. But I think everything that you talked about, we have resources. So that's the biggest piece, and I guess that's where we'll kind of, we got a minute left, but the People's Patriot Project is an opportunity to serve. If you never had the chance to serve, reach out. If you want to serve, some people have lost the opportunity to serve because of detached retinas or whatever stress. We will facilitate that next step. We could use your skill set. I'm not talking to you specifically here, Ed, but I'm talking to our listeners right now and letting them know that if you have that inkling to continue to serve or want to serve, reach out to us. We are here to be with you. We're here to accommodate your needs. We are blessed because we get to do so much because of our awesome listeners, helping this critical mission we just did, where this service member is he's gonna die, and he didn't have a chance to be with his family. And I'm going to stand on a mountaintop and scream, hey, we've been blessed. We've been blessed, and we were able to bless them, and you blessed us because you gave us the resources to help take care of this service member. I'm going to tell you right now, we're touching the tip of the iceberg. We're not even close to doing. We did have to turn down an ask earlier this week. It is what it is, and our heart's broken because of that. And we will get through that. We lost him.
Oh, shoot, we lost him.
Back on before we close out. And anyway, we're the People's Patriot. The People's Patriot Project is an opportunity. It's an opportunity of hope. It's an opportunity to serve, and it's an opportunity that serves. And we've been so blessed. We want to thank all of you for being here this week. Hopefully we get Ed back here to do post show. Not we'll catch up with him at another time. We are going to roll with Andrew. Do you got anything in closing before I?
No, I got that. I just would say, actually, if you guys, anyone listening, keep an eye and an ear open. We do have, and I know we hate to ask, but we do have some asks out there for some people that are struggling this Christmas. So if it compels you in your heart to give a little more this year, what you've given is so appreciated already. We just have a little extra this year, which is not the way we want to do it, but we're glad we can be here to help. So thank you, and maybe a preemptive thank you for what you've given.
I can't remember what I said. We do have one of our own out there struggling a little bit right now, and we want to make sure that you lift up. I think we called it Operation Bass Pro.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just think Bass Pro and know that we've got to lift someone up right now. Shad, got anything in closing?
Nope, I'm good. I'm just trying to keep this little monster from getting into everything at the moment.
Absolutely. Absolutely. This is Jen Ford. Don't need a lot for Christmas.
Spend all of our savings on the bills. Maxed out all the credit cards on gifts for the kids. Use the same old decorations for the last 8 years. Now you're stressing by getting something for me. Don't need a lot for Christmas, just give me you. Don't spend all your money on high-priced gifts when a box on wire will do. We'll sit under the mistletoe, dance to Bing Crosby and Nat King Cole. Don't need a lot for Christmas, just give me you. Just give me you.